Alright, so as we're heading into 2024, and with one of the first projects in the MCU to get it in January, it's of course Echo. And from what we've seen in the trailer footage and what we know about the series, this is going to be the MCU's first dark and violent show that is going to have the TVMA rating with the return of Lago Cox's of Maya Lopez, aka Echo, and Vincent D'Onofrio, aka Kingpin. It's just sort of have those Daredevil vibes and so much more. But now that we have the very first reactions of people that got to see it early at a preview screening in the UK, and there's a ton of cool reactions that are already out, and some of which are very positive, and what we should be looking forward to as well. And that's what I'm doing for guys in this video is reading these reactions and what we need to know. And so if you're new, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell, so it's on any future vids. And so let's just get into it. You know, these are reactions coming from people who have already seen the first couple of episodes. They each just like a few of them, and so the first one comes from Emily Murray from Total Film, and she says, "Enjoyed the first two episodes of Echo, which had an incredible and violent fight scene I want to watch again and again. The sound design is fire emoji. The brilliant Laco Cox continually draws me in, but I found the storytelling and pacing shaky. Excited to see the rest." And now, especially with that term right there, shaky, because even with Marvel and Disney, that they're dropping all 5 episodes all at once, so like binge style, both on Disney Plus and Hulu, and it's gonna be all 5 episodes telling the origin story of Echo and how she came to be before Kingpin wants to take care of her as her uncle, especially with term of shaky, and even with the fight scenes that like she said were like amazing, and we should definitely be looking forward to that. And even with the trailer footage, it looks pretty badass, and I guess we'll have to wait and see, but this is one of the great reactions. The next one comes from Paul Klein over at No Majesties, and he says, "The world-ending stakes of the MCU have you longing for something more grounded. Echo is a gritty tonic, a 2-episode scene, and it's hard-hitting action thriller with a great sense of Native American culture. Here we see the final 3 when they drop in January." Especially as it says in the term world-ending stakes, and as we look at the entire MCU overall, especially with Phase 4 and how that turned out, it got like not so good word of mouth, and how the fans were not really a fan of the quantity, and with Marvel Studios putting out too much, especially with Phase 4 and their movies and shows, and not everything has to be a world-ending stakes, especially as we've seen from the Marvels. But even with a show like Echo, and that has those violent vibes to it, and I guess I found this reaction to be pretty good. With this next one, it comes from Tom Percival from Digital Fix, and he says, "Saw the first 2 episodes of Echo tonight. I have a lot of thoughts. I think fans of Netflix's Daredevil are going to love it. It's a Marvel remembered it could be violent and dark. Lago Cox is amazing, although I don't love all the creative decisions though." I like this reaction a lot, and it says violent and dark, and even though they said with the fan base that enjoyed Netflix's Daredevil, we're going to love this, and I'm pretty sure it is, because that was good television, because I love everything I did put in, and that was when like Marvel was really dark. But even within the series, it's going to be TVMA, it's going to be for mature audiences, and I think it's MCU's real first dark show that's going to have that rating and be violent and dark, and I know it's going to have that TV-14 rating with that fake kind of fighting with but even like with this, I think it's going to have some real fighting and real violence, and I think we're in for one heck of a treat based on this reaction. And especially on top of that, as it says, I don't love all the creative decisions though, because even with Marvel Studios or what they went through and how they were going to put this all out, especially from test screenings and even with the behind the scenes, that they were like, not going to make this work. And even with like dropping it all at once, all 5 episodes on Disney Plus as like in like a binge model, and have on like that now have on like a week-to-week basis. And I think it's going to draw in a lot of conversation, especially as all of us MCU fans really one heck of a treat, especially with Marvel putting out something so dark. But I guess we'll have to wait and see, especially with that term though. But I believe in Marvel Studios, and even with the show. And now with this next one, it comes from Tyrell Charles over from Podcaster, and he says, I've seen 3 episodes of Echo, a grounded, character-driven story with hints of bigger things to come. The strong focus on Maya's indigenous heritage and personal story intrigues me, and while some quiet moments slow the pacing, when the action scenes come, they are indeed brutal. Even with this one, which I really dig a lot, it says the term a grounded, character-driven story, and which explains why Marvel Studios is putting on a new concept banner called Marvel Spotlight, which gives them the opportunity to explore more characters, but in its own self-contained story. So with the fans, and that I don't have to wander around so many different projects in order to understand this character or this show. But it can be its own self-contained story, and that it says it's going to explore Maya Lopez's heritage more, and a little about her origin story and how she came to be as a fighter, and even before she was with Kingpin, and a thing which I totally dig a lot. Then he also continued on by saying, this is a Maya Lopez origin story through and through. Honestly, after all the huge confusing CGI and multiverse stuff lately, a more gritty street level story is quite refreshing to me, and I'm sure I won't be alone in that thought. And wow, I mean, with this long reaction coming from someone who has seen the first couple episodes, it's just saying that with the huge multiverse stuff that hasn't been explained clearly to the general public, and even with the casual moviegoers. But even he said this is a Maya Lopez origin story. This isn't going to connect anything, or even towards the end of the show he teases something very big, but this is its own self-contained story, which I truly like. This is what the MCU needs now, and even with self-contained stories and just connecting to stuff that's not gonna go anywhere. But even with having its own story, it's only gonna be a project of focus on Maya Lopez, aka Echo, and her fighting skills and her origin story, which I'm very looking forward to a lot. And that's so from what I'm seeing here, it looks like with Echo, the first MCU show of 2024, which is going to be the first dark, violent, and more gritty show to have the TVMA rating, and this is getting awesome, good, positive reactions, and that it's saying it's having its own self-contained story with Maya Lopez's origin story being told without having some sort of connections to other things, so that the general public won't be confused, because I mean this is the character that we saw in the Hawkeye series, but even with this origin story that is being told through Marvel Television, and that we can totally understand this character now. And I'm glad that these reactions are coming out positive, and I can't wait to see these episodes. I think this could be a win for Marvel Studios, especially for the fans, and even for the people that are just fans of Marvel. And this could be a great show, especially if it's going to be dark and so gritty. And so that's going to be it for this video, and just let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, and what thoughts on these first reactions that are coming for Echo, and how excited are you for the show, and with your anticipation level, and just let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, and subscribe, and turn on notifications about future videos, and also follow my social, which are linked down below. And with that, I'll see y'all next video. Peace.